What is going on, everybody? This is DM Brad from the Spoiler Alert Network here on our TSAN Gaming channel. Today I wanted to do a quick introduction of our new series. We're taking a break from our World of Warcraft videos for a bit to focus on another of my all-time favorite games. As most probably know, this past Thursday, November 11th, 2021, marked the 10th anniversary of the original release of The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. A game that revolutionized open-world RPGs. Due to its expansive world, replayability, rich lore and history, and also partly thanks to the massive modding community, as well as countless re-releases, it is a game that has stood the test of time and is still relevant and bringing in new players even today. It is easily one of my personal top 5 favorite games of all time, as it's a game I find myself coming back to more than any other title. When the game first released way back in 2011, I really didn't give it much attention. I heard everyone talking about Skyrim and Oblivion, but for whatever reason, I just had no interest. Probably because it was the year I started dating my girlfriend, who is now my wife. I was pretty blind to most other things in 2011. I picked up the game a year or two later after watching a friend play it. I was immediately hooked. The lore, mythology, the history, the expansive world, it sucked me in. Then I played the DLCs, incredible. Then came my discovery of mods. That changed everything. So much structure and depth in just a single game. In high school, I was aspiring to be a writer or a filmmaker. So in 2014, I began work on a fan novel based on the world of Skyrim and all of the Elder Scrolls games. It went through several ups and downs, and I scrapped some things here and there, and the story began to take full form and grew into a structure of multiple titles, telling the tale of the Dragonborn, mainly based on my main Skyrim playthrough. I still have yet to finish this series of books on my own, but the outline and structure is set. So even though I've been unable to completely finish my novel series, I've decided to use the TSAN gaming platform to do a full role-playing playthrough based on my book series that is also based on my original playthroughs. So, how this is going to work is almost like a D&D adventure. I'm establishing the main character, and instead of straight gameplay commentary, I'll be providing voiceover and giving life to the hero character, something I've never done before. So before you watch, I apologize for the not so stellar voice acting. I'm by no means a professional. So a bit of an introduction. We all know the protagonist of Skyrim, the Dragonborn, is the typical chosen one and man of few words, to give you free reign to be whoever you want to be in the game. The character you control doesn't speak out loud and doesn't have much of a personality or backstory other than what you choose in dialogue options with NPCs in the game. So though it will kind of break the open-endedness spirit of the game, our protagonist has a name, has a personality, and has a backstory. His name is Eduard. That's the name I'm rolling with. A Nord man born to 2 Nord parents. His father is a former moth priest turned sellsword. His mother spent her days as a scholar. Both his parents hail from the northern province of Skyrim, but lived in Cyrodiil when Eduard was born. Eduard lived in a small cottage outside the city of Bruma. His father secretly worshipped the deity known as Talos, even though it was outlawed by a treaty signed between the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion, aka the Thalmor, who we'll meet in this playthrough. Eduard's parents would tell him tales of their homeland and legends of mythical heroes from days past. Eduard dreamed of one day visiting Skyrim. His father did everything he could to provide for the family, but as he got older, his eyesight began to deteriorate. The duty of moth priests is to read and decipher magical artifacts known as Elder Scrolls. It is a very dangerous process and can leave a person blind from the sheer magical power contained in the scrolls. One day, their home was attacked by enemies of Eduard's father who were seeking revenge. His mother was killed, but Eduard and his father survived. So Eduard's father trained him to fight. Eduard learned how to use swords, shields, bows and arrows, and other useful skills like lockpicking, crafting skills, and the art of stealth. When he was training as a young boy, his father noticed he was handy with a sword. He gave him the nickname Stormblade. One day, his father eventually fell ill and fully lost his eyesight. Eduard came of age and became a sellsword to take care of his father's needs. He picked up bounty after bounty and discovered he had a knack for combat and a love for gold. He raked in the gold, but being a brash young man, besides his priority of helping his father, Edward began using his hard-earned gold, indulging in the finer things in life. Plenty of food, mead, wine, and women. All that came to a halt one day when his father, on his deathbed, revealed to Edward. When he was still a young moth priest, he had deciphered an elder scroll that showed the future. He saw their homeland of Skyrim in chaos, a massive civil war, and monsters burning down cities. In the middle of it all, standing as a beacon of hope, he saw his son, Edward. With his dying breath, his final wish, he told Edward to travel to Skyrim to fulfill his destiny. So that's where our story will kick off. Eduard Stormblade travels to Skyrim. And if you've played the game, you know the basics of what comes next. He eventually discovers he is the Dragonborn, a legendary hero with the body of a mortal man and the blood and soul of a dragon. This grants him the ability to channel an ancient power called the Thu'um, or dragon shouts, basically shouting words that take the form of all sorts of different powers. Edward is extremely skilled in many forms of combat, as previously stated. He's handy with swords, shields, axes, and other melee weapons. He's extremely perceptive and agile as well, being able to dodge traps and even sometimes dodging enemy projectiles. He is also able to fire arrows from a bow with near pinpoint accuracy, as well as taking out multiple targets in quick succession. He's fairly skilled in the art of stealth, infiltrating areas and attacking enemies undetected. He's shown to be very cunning and creative in combat, using the environment to help him out. He's skilled in picking locks as well, also a skilled craftsman, and can forge and even improve his own armor and weapons if need be. Basically a jack of all trades on top of being a mythical being of great power. But starting out, he is brash, rough-natured, hesitant, and unsure of his supposed destiny. But we will see him come into his own as the story progresses and hopefully see a great character arc. But I'll let you all be the judge of that. This is definitely different from any project I've ever done, and obviously different from the rest of the content already on this channel. It is absolutely a labor of love. With how unpredictable the open world of Skyrim can be, it's going to be difficult structuring a playthrough based on a pre-written outline. Got to make all the right decisions in combat and all the correct dialogue options as I possibly can. But even so, I'll be playing some Skyrim as work. So I hope you all enjoy this journey with me, and I hope to continue this as long as I possibly can and make it into a massive, full series based on my entire fan novel series. If you have any questions on what settings I use and what mods I have active during the playthrough, I'd be happy to answer and provide my list of mods. Thank you guys for watching this intro, and stay tuned for the first episode or chapter of Book 1, Rise of the Dragonborn. And as always, stay dedicated.
Dumakin, nalasin na spahin,